You Snail? It's a precision platformer. It's difficult, a platformer. A 2D one, in fact. It's single player, fast-paced, 2D, story-rich, adventure,
funny, short, comedy, exploration,
indie, unforgiving, a side-scroller, puzzle platformer, a cute action sci-fi platformer. Okay, so Will You Snail is great and all, but why should you play it? Well, there's only one feature in mind that makes this platformer be different from others. Well, there's a lot, but the most important one is the enemy AI.
Sure, blame orange. Oh, look what you've done to draw Nelly. Level 100 already. You're such a pro.
That talking pink face you saw there is Squid, the anime AI that's the antagonist of the game. Now, unlike a lot of other games, the antagonist is actually always on screen. He'd be talking and laughing at you as you fail your final jump, or he'll be surprised as you kill his minion. He'll basically react to everything you do. And when I mean everything, I mean everything. It makes Will You Snail a lot less like a single player game and more like the AI is the second player against you, which adds a pretty deep level of gameplay to the game, which I don't think a lot of other games have actually done, which makes Will You Snail pretty cool in a way.
Yeah, gonna kill your copter.
These voice lines are all possible with this one guy, Jonas Tyroller, aka the creator of the game, the most epic game dev, and also the guy that spent four years making that same game and made 2,000 voice lines just for this one guy, Squid. You know, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Maybe Jonas shouldn't have done that. But it all turned out right in the end. And you know why he did this though? Because Jonas is not like robots repeating their same voice lines. Squid also spawns in really cool traps like spikes and bombs. And these traps make Squid seem like he's not just a talking narrator roasting you every few seconds.
Over here. Can you stay here maybe? No, come back. You will die. You will all die. I kill you and everyone you love. My drones will fill the sky with your screams, and your houses will burn to ashes. You will suffer. Suffer.
The hook of the game, aka Squid, isn't the only reason Will You Snail is so good. For instance, the audio. The current music you're listening to is Death by Nanobots by, you guessed it, Jonas Tyroller, aka, once again, the creator of the game, the guy that spent 4 years making the game, and the guy that made 2,000 voice lines to give to Squid without using an auto-generator. I mean, just take a look at his soundtrack. Here, I'll give you a quick preview of it. Where's an interesting factor of games like Will You Snail? Since it's a platformer, the game may get intense and elusive for no reason, so adding a story helps with that. But instead of presenting the story as a whole, it only gives you a piece of it for you to figure out the rest on your own. Now, the role itself, it's quite deep, and I'm not going to go into it that much, but to give you an understanding on how we end up finding the lore, you find these text boxes talking about a historical event from the past. You just find them around the levels and stuff. It's really random. Each text box is numbered, so once you order them all, you're familiar with why Squid is the bad guy, who is Dallin, a character, and much more, which I'm not going to get into because it's way too much. The best part is that lore can be easily ignored if you're not into that stuff, which is amazing game design. Good job, Jonas. You see, You Snail's a platform, meaning that you're a jumping thing, usually traversing through levels at stopping you. There's not that much originality with platformers, especially on Steam. Even the AI can bring only so much authenticity. The game has over 50 long levels, making it no easy task to find a way to make each level in the game unique among its playthrough. So Jonas created a bunch of different mechanics to make the design of the level just right to traverse them. There are levels such as tower defense, basketball, puzzles, and even underwater ones. It's just crazy. The player can get a laser cannon and shoot moving blocks, piranhas, or even some of the bosses. If you're too stressed from the AI, there's a literal game mode just to chill out and relax before continuing the game. There's just way too much to tell you because all the game modes are still in use of the basic platform mechanics. If you want to know it all, the creator Jonas Tyroller documented his entire journey of the game, so I highly recommend you check out those videos as they're astonishing. The last thing and I think the best thing about the game is the gameplay. For starters, Shelly, the snail you're playing as, has a movement script that makes your moves feel much more responsive, whether you're playing on the Xbox, PC, and or laptop, Nintendo, or PS, whatever. The creativity adds on to the challenge, so the level you're playing is never too easy or too hard, to the fact that you should quit the game, and if you think not, there's a literal difficulty settings and automatic difficulty, which automatically change your difficulty based on how good you are and how the skill level of yourself changes throughout the game. If you do end up raging, the smiley game mode can deal with that. The bosses are fun to play against, the secrets are fun to find, and even the secret ability you get when you finish the game is fun. The game gives you the feeling that after you die, you want to try one more time but end up playing the game for another hour. And that's the beauty of gameplay. While playing your footage, I literally played a lot longer than I should have. And when you've done the game, there's a lot more replayability. For example, you can get achievements like the speedrun or level 100 smiley, which I showed you earlier. There's difficulty points where when you beat levels on higher difficulties, and there's also exploration points, which you can find all around the levels. Or you can join the community and see what everyone's up to. I recommend the You Snail Discord. Overall, You Snail is an amazing game, developed by a single person, and if you have the money, I highly recommend you get the game or on whatever device you have. Okay, goodbye.